Hello everybody, today I'm going to draw a friend's house. Let's draw the sky. I didn't wet the watercolor paper first. Start painting directly with ultramarine. Bring in some cerulean blue. Let the color of the sky change a little. Cerulean blue is warmer and brighter than ultramarine, suitable for painting the part of the sky closer to the ground. Today I did not look as cloudless as the picture of the sky. It's more casual. Make the sky more colorful. There's a little white cloud here. Now let's brush the water. Because there is no water brush, the sky is not blended well. There are some water stains. So I still wet the paper. It's easier to draw this way. Ultramarine and burnt sienna for tree trunks. Deep red paint maple trees in the distance. Yellow-green comes in to make the light of the tree. Throw some color on it. But tossing it in the dry didn't make the color fade. Anyway, let's play orange. Paint the little tree at the door. That was a pretty good throw. Keep throwing. It's completely dry on top. Spray a little water. Let it flow. Let the paint flow with the water. Painting while wet, which called wet in wet. The colors blended into each other. Make the lawn before the paper dries. Yellow-green first. Grass green again. A little greener. The tree in distance. Darkening the dark part of the maple tree. Add ultramarine to make blue and purple. Paint the dark side of the building. Bring into the shadows of the trees. Draw all together. A little cerulean blue. Shadows here. Leave the pillars out. Draw the dark part together. Simplify large sketch relationships. The details will be dealt with later. Now let's deal with this little tree. Also spray a little water. Let it flow. The paper is a little dry, just in time to paint shadows on the grass. Such strong shadows should be painted after the paper has dried. Go ahead and draw the building. The dark parts of the walls are painted in a cooler blue-gray color. The gray roof is also painted in blue-purple tones. Painting architecture often involves perspective. Because of inaccurate perspective, the house doesn't seem to fit on the ground. This is a problem we often encounter, so let's talk about perspective. I think we're all familiar with the concept of horizon, vanishing point. Today, I would like to introduce to you a method of accurate perspective with the help of the ruler. This is the horizon. According to the needs of the perspective angle of the object, let's draw a diagonal line at the top. Draw a vertical line on the left side. Divide it into equal parts. And draw a vertical line on the right. And divide it into the same equal parts. Here I've divided it into 5 equal parts. Then connect the equinoxes. You get a set of slashes based on geometry. They must all converge at one point. That's the vanishing point. Each horizontal line that is actually parallel to the object we are drawing can be drawn by reference to this group of diagonal lines on the screen. This reduces the distortion of drawing each perspective line out of thin air. Of course, for a well-trained master, freehand perspective should be no problem. In the vertical direction, once the first room of the building is decided, we just connect the lower left point to this midpoint on the horizon and extend it. You get this intersection, and we get the vertical line in the second space. Sequentially extrapolated, we'll get all the rooms. We can use the above method for disappearing points outside the screen. All one-point perspective, two-point perspective, or multi-point perspective. But when I paint, I usually do it visually in freehand. One is faster. Two, because if you train more, you don't need a ruler to help you. Third, ruler planning lacks artistic aura. I'm just going to use a ruler today to demonstrate how to get a more accurate perspective. Okay, to help us with our unskilled skills, so let's get back to color. Bring in a little cobalt blue to paint the top two windows. Don't overdraw. Leave some white and some texture. Darken the glass above the window with ultramarine. Also leave some texture. The window suddenly feels deep and transparent. Then darken the tree on the left. Be careful not to use just one color. Use warm and cold colors. Flick some water droplets on with your fingers. Add some texture. And scrape out some branches while they're wet. Spray some more water. Let the big tree in the foreground blur a little. The visual focus is left to the architecture. Continue darkening. Rub out the light part with paper. Let's add the dark grass. Wet the paper again this time. Darken with grass green first. And a darker, warmer gray color. The maple trees in the distance also add a shade. Use crimson red, Prussian blue to make a deep purple. Draw shadows on the ground. The left tree pool is simply colored. Now start drawing the details of the building, darkening eaves, columns, and windows. The middle of the picture is the visual focus of the whole painting, including the main body of the building, especially the porch part. And the plants in front of the house, we need to deepen it gradually. Add further shading. I'm using the lean ruler now. The line can be drawn very straight with the help of a lean ruler. So-called lean ruler, it's two brushes in your hand. Use the end of one of the brushes to lean against the ruler. Another pen can be used to draw straight lines. I glued a piece of film on the back of the ruler with double-sided tape, so I can slide it back and forth against the ruler without hurting the paper. Usually when we paint a picture, you don't need a ruler to draw it, because it's not an engineering drawing. Sometimes for artistic reasons, we often deliberately draw lines that are broken and crooked. Watercolors usually don't like to paint new houses. It is often the old buildings that we prefer to choose the theme. Various watercolor techniques are available. Fully show the modeled simplicity of the old house and all kinds of fun. But what I'm drawing today is a friend's house. He just renovated it. I'm going to give him this painting, so it can't be a crooked house. By gradually darkening, some details are slowly being sketched out. The building also became spiritual. Paint the front greenery again. Dot with little yellow flowers. The shadows here continue to darken. Outline the small tree. The upper part of the small tree in front of the door should be the distant tree behind. I mistook it for part of the small tree. Is it any wonder that this tree has such a strange shape? So you have to think before you start your watercolor painting. Make the arrangement of far, middle, and close range, only in order to have virtual and real change level change. Instead of copying the photo, the big tree on the left is a coniferous tree. I'm going to do a little bit more detail with the split ends. Add some branches. Fill in the local shadow. Let's use a flat pen to create some bright door frames. The key is to clean the brush and squeeze out the moisture. Again, use beige to lighten up some highlights. Put some highlights on the flowers. And the sunlight streaming through the leaves onto the porch. The lighting in the room and so on. A street scene of the town was quickly completed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.